Sword and Shield is one of the most popular eras of the Pokemon TCG, but it has one problem that I discovered. It is possible to tell which packs have hits and which packs do not in the TCG without having to open the actual packs. And I'm not talking about a CT scanner or anything like that. I'm not talking about opening the packs and resealing them, anything like that. As far as I can tell, this is a completely undetectable way to figure out which packs have hits and which packs do not. As far as I can tell, can apply to pretty much every set in Sword and Shield. And I think it can even probably work for previous generations, but I have not done the testing. I'm going to go through a lot of raw footage of testing I've done. I'm going to explain what it is, why it works, and leave a comment if you have any additional thoughts, because this is something that kind of clicked in my head. It seems to work, and I'm not really sure what to do with this information. First, to understand how it works, you have to think about what is in most Sword and Shield packs. So you have a pack full of cards, and most of them are non-holographic. They're commons, but then typically what you have is one reverse holo where there's the holographic over most of the card. And then there's a kind of wild card slot where you can either get a rare, which is a non-holographic, or a holographic or better. So it can be like a holographic or a V card, a V-Star card, an alt-art card, but that slot is random. And the randomness, like I said, sometimes it can be non-holographic. So I want to visualize it here so that you can see what the two possibilities are. I did this mostly on Lost Origin, but I've also tested it on Battle Styles, which I did not include footage for, but I did do it also on Lost Origin and Fusion Strike. I do have the raw footage from both of those tests. I want to visualize what it looks like so that you kind of understand how I figured this out. So let's say, and I want to stick with Fusion Strike because I was really looking at the statistics of hits versus not hits. And I am including holographics when I say hits. Most people would not, but I differentiate it between the non-holographic slot and a holographic slot. Now with Lost Origin, I was looking at the TCG player rates, and it looks like most of the packs that you're going to be opening have that wild card slot as a non-holographic. I think the rough statistic is that every roughly like 38%, 1/3, roughly around there, will contain a pack that has a holo or better in a pack. So the most of the packs that you're going to be opening have a dud in that wildcard slot, meaning a non-holographic. So look at this comparison that is on the screen. So what's the difference between ones that have holographic or higher or non-holo? If you look at it, the ones with the holographic are better. They have more metallic on the card. They have more shininess. I don't know if it's actually metal. I don't know if it's like tin. I don't actually know how they make the holographic effect. I don't know what they use, but the ones that have hits in them, meaning holo or better, have more of that metal or tin or aluminum or whatever that shininess is in them. And then the ones that are duds have less. Now, this is where this device comes in. This is a handheld metal detector. I'm leaving a link below. It's an Amazon affiliate link to the metal detector. It costs, I think, $13, and this is all you need to do it. I'm going to show you how it works, why it works, the success rate, but this is what you need. Now, the concept behind it is that these things are usually used for scanning walls to find cords or wires or live wires or metal or anything behind a wall. So you scan a wall and then it pings when you hit some additional metal in that area. So essentially what you're doing is you're scanning the packs to see if some have more of the metal or whatever it's detecting than others. So I started with, I think I had a case or two of the Lost Origin Build and Battle Stadiums. They were a pain to open. There's a lot of plastic involved, so I'm trying to fast forward past this part. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm just removing the loose packs so that they are all taken out, and basically just all in one pile in front of me. Yeah, a lot of plastic, a lot of opening, a lot of waste. So when I get these out of the box and I have the pile in front of me, I'm going to show the pinging in a second. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the device, and that little scroll bar that's on the device increases and decreases the sensitivity. So here we go. I have the packs. Now what I'm doing, okay, so I just increased the sensitivity. So now it's detecting metal, right? That one it did not. That one it did. That one it did. That one it did. Now that means I probably have it too sensitive, because there's no way that that's like 90% hit. So I'm going to have to redo this to recalibrate it and lower the sensitivity. So that's what I'm going to do in a second, I think. Yeah, I think at this point I realized it's pinging way too much, so I need to lower the sensitivity. Because what you want is some to ping and some to not ping. Okay, so that one pings. That one does not ping. That one pings. That one does not ping. That one does not ping. Now, with the hit rate being like 1/3 or like 38%, you're going to want about 1/3 to ping, right? So that one's pinging, pinging, that one's not pinging. And I'm doing this where it seems like I have a good calibration going where, you know, some ping, some don't. And when you do a bunch of them, you'll be able to see like, okay, about 1/3 are in the pile that pinged and 2/3 are not. So that one did not ping. That one did not ping. 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 Pinged. Pinged. Did not. 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 And it's hard to know. So there's a ping. It's hard to know, like, did you calibrate it a little bit off, or are the hits really that bad? And like I said, you really know when, first of all, some ping and some do not. And then statistically, when about 1/3 ping and 2/3 do not, which if you look at the piles, I'd say that's roughly 1/3 and 2/3, with the 1/3 being on the right. So this is the ping pile. And then all of those on the left did not ping. You know, maybe there's a chance that there was like a low detected hit in there. I don't know, but I have it roughly as 1/3 on the right, 2/3 on the left. All right, so now I'm gonna just open the ones that pinged. Now remember, most should have a non-hollow in the wildcard slot. So let's see. All right, this one has a hollow. Okay, that's a hit. This has a hit. Remember, most should not have a hollow or better in the wild card slot. Here's another hit. Most should not have a hit. There's a hit, and it's a rainbow rare. Or secret rare, I don't know, rainbow, secret rare, whatever it's called. It's not a good one, but it's a hit. And another hit. So for all 5 of the first packs that pinged have a hit, when the most that you open should not. And that's a hit. That's a holo. Another hit. A V card. Another hit. A holo. This one did not have a hit, so kind of interesting. This was the first batch I did, and I was pretty fast. So that did not have a hit. So what's that, like a 1 out of 8 or so was not a hit. This one's a hit. Those ones at the top there are the reverse hollows, by the way, if you can't tell from the screen. It's the hit, hollow. This one's a hit, hollow. That's a hit. That's a full art. Oh, and it's also got a V star in there. So it's a hit, it's a hollow. So there's 1 pack left. So far, every single one of them is a hit of a hollow or better, except for the one was a dud pack. My calibration was probably a little off. And another hit with the V card. Now remember, most of these should be duds. Statistically, most of these should be non-hollows. But every single one of them is a hollow or better, except for that one. And at this point, I think this was the part where I was like, wait, okay, maybe there's something to this, because statistically there is just no way that you could get that many hollows or better. But so I had a few more stadiums that I wanted to test. So let me pull up the video. I opened up another case. Again, it was a lot of plastic, a lot of opening. I wanted to speed through here, but kind of show you, like, without it being edited too much. So each stadium has 2 build and battle boxes, and then also 4 loose packs in it. So you open it, you have 4 loose packs, but then you have something else to open of the build and battles that you have to open each individually. And then there's also like dice and things like that. So I was doing it as fast as I could. So I sped up this part. But this is the point where I figured okay, this seems like it works. And so I think I did a bigger batch this time of more packs. All right. Almost there. Last one. I don't know how many packs this is. It was like a case of 6, and each one had 12 packs in it. So I'll let you do the math. I don't know, like it'd be a couple booster box worth. Okay, so I'm calibrating it to see, okay, so these ones ping, but like I said, I want some to ping and some not to ping. So I'm lowering and increasing the intensity until some ping and some do not. Okay, it seems like they're all pinging, so I probably need to lower the sensitivity is probably what I did. Okay, and that one did not, that one did. That one did not. That one did not. That one did not. That one did not either. So now I need to increase the sensitivity. And that is one thing with the calibration, is that you've got to get the calibration set up correctly, but then once it's at the right intensity, you can just continue to use it. So here you go. So that one did not ping. That one did not ping. Did not. Did not. And Sword and Shield has such bad hit rates that with most of them being duds, you don't know if it's not pinging for a while because you have it calibrated wrong, or if, so that one pinged, but then all those other ones did not. Okay, so that pinged, that one pinged. Okay, so it's starting to look like about, you know, 1/3 roughly are pinging. I'm retesting these ones that did not ping, now that I do have the correct calibration, I think. And I think that this is where it's starting to look like it's correct, because you have about 1/3 that are pinging or detecting metal, and then about 2/3 that are not. So once I start and I feel like I have the right calibration with the dial turned to the right amount, where about 1/3 ping and 2/3 do not, you don't want to move that nozzle at all, because once it's calibrated, that's going to be the intensity it's going to be measuring for. I think I adjusted it a tiny bit because I felt, I don't know. And then I'm retesting the duds to make sure that they're not actually pinging. Okay. Yeah, and like once you do the first like 10 or 12 or so, you're going to want to redo it once you have the correct calibration, to just triple check that the ones that you've identified as duds weren't just miscalibrated when you did those first few ones. I'm just going through, I'm just pushing the scanner up against the front of the pack. I'm saying which one's pings, and there you go, that one pinged. That one did not. Chris. All right, so then I'm removing the ones that did not ping. And all of the ones that are left are the ones that pinged. So these I'm kind of like recentering, but these are the ones that are the top third or so of pings. I wanted to test it a little bit more to see if, like, you know, between the ones that are the top third that have hits, I wanted to divide it into ones that are very reactive, where it's very sensitive, it pings a lot, versus ones that ping less, because different rarity cards will have different amounts of metallic on them. So I was thinking, like, maybe the alt arts have more metal, so they'll be like the most sensitive. I did figure it out in a minute, you'll see, but you'll see I'm kind of dividing it where the less sensitive ones are on the left and then the more sensitive ones are on the right. But this whole pile here is the hits from that case of Lost Origin stadiums. All right, now we're ready to start. And remember, most packs that you open should not have any hit. It should have a non-holo rare in the wild card slot. To holo. To hit. To hit. So for 100% hit rate. To hit. To hit. At this point, I was like, yeah, this just works. There's no question. I kept going. I kept testing it because I wanted to see if all of the packs were hits. You'll see. But at this point, statistically, if, you are able to flip a coin that has a 50% chance, and you're able to say that every time you flip, it'll get a tails 98% of the time, you can assume that that coin is rigged to have that outcome. So far, it's been all hits. That's a holo. To hit. To hit holo. To hit holo. It's another hit. So far, 100% success rate. Still 100% hit rate. This one's a double hit. I guess the Radiant Steelix filled in for the reverse hollow slot, but because it was metallic, it countered it too. So, all right, there's a hit hollow. And a hit. So 100% hit rate for the most sensitive packs that were hits. Now this other side is, remember, they're the ones that are hits, but they were a little less sensitive. I'm shaking a little bit.
Oh.
I don't know. Oh, I got up to get my phone because I wanted to take a picture, and I tripped over the box. I tripped over the box, and I was going to sit back down. I think I was taking a picture. I don't know what I was doing. So one thing that's interesting is that the alt art was on the, so it's obviously in the hit pile from the third that was pinging of the whole batch, but it was in the one that was pinging a little bit less. So I was kind of thinking that alt arts, because they have more texture, they would be more sensitive because they would have more metal. But that, I don't know. I think it was texting. But remember, there's still a few more packs in there, so. All right, I kind of took a detour to just kind of look at this and admire it, because this is the hit I've been wanting. Like, this is my top chase of all of Sword and Shield. The Shinji Kanda Giratina. So I kept going because there was more to do. I don't know if that was a hit or not. I kind of moved quickly and I wasn't thinking. Was that a hollow? I don't know. I left the commons on the table too. I just kind of dropped everything. All right, so there's a hit. I was still in shock at this point, I think. There's a hit. And then I was taking another detour to just admire it. So at this point, someone came into the room and was talking to me, and I was still kind of shocked and distracted, but I kept opening, because you can see I had that like small pile of hits there. So there's hit. Another hit. At this, I think there may have been one dud pack in this whole mix, like after the Giratina, but I don't remember. I was so distracted after I pulled that, so I don't know if this was 100% pull rate so far or like whatever 96%. But statistically, I was likely to get mostly no hits at all, and pretty much every single one was. And I got the Pikachu. So that was the Charizard and then a V-Star. So it seemed like a lot of the full arts or whatever they are were like in the less sensitive section, whereas most of the V cards were on the most sensitive, like the ones on the far right that were pinging the most out of the hit batch. This was me explaining to someone who walked in the room what I was doing. Because it was pinging, it's like ping, ping, ping. Got a couple left. I'm showing the Giratina.
Oh my God.
So then I pulled the Aerodactyl. Like that was probably like what 5 packs after the Giratina. And so both of the alt arts were on, they were in the hit pile, but they were in the less sensitive section, which I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. I mean, if you really wanted to calibrate this perfectly, you might be able to figure out exactly which ones are the alt arts. But when I manually calibrate it, I don't think I'd ever be able to get that precise. And then the last pack. Last pack magic. And it's a hit. Oh boy. Last pack magic. So this is kind of just the pile of hits, but I mean, it was pretty much a perfect hit rate. Um, and yeah, these are the two that I pulled from the case. Yeah, that one's just beautiful. I sent it in through GameStop to get it graded. I'm hoping for a 10, but the top's a little heavy. So what do you think? Do you think I just got lucky? I mean, statistically, I would think that if you're likely to get a non-holo rare in the pack and the vast majority that you get are holo or better, except for one, then I think that means statistically it's confirmed that this works. But I know that this would shake the market of Sword and Shield. So I want to get your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think this works? Do you think I got lucky? Try it out, I guess. And the one thing I was thinking is that if I figured this out, I am sure that people out there know this and have known this if it does actually work. Because we're coming, we're past the end of the Sword and Shield era, so there have been years for people to do this. And I'm sure it would work on Evolving Skies and other sets, and it makes me wonder what's been going on with the market and whether people have been doing this. Thank you for watching. I want to, I would like to monetize this video, but I need 500 subscribers. But I'd like to monetize it enough to get a base set booster box because I'm really curious about trying this on a base set booster box because theoretically this should work because in a dud pack, in a base set pack, there's no metallic and then the hits are just hollows. So they have that additional metallic. I have a feeling that this works on base set packs, and I don't know all of the sets like XY, their configuration of hollows or reverse hollows, things like that. But um, they did change it in Scarlet Violet, and I think it's kind of interesting. And I wonder if they did this on purpose because they realized that this works. Because in Scarlet and Violet, what they've done is they've made that wild card always a hollow. Either it's a second reverse hollow, or it's just a holographic card. And so all of them have generally the same amount of metal material in each of the packs, regardless of whether it's a hit pack or whether it's not. And I'm kind of wondering if they did that on purpose because people figured this out. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share this, leave your thoughts as a comment below if you have any additional insight, because I'm curious. I can't be the only one who's figured this out. All right. Thank you guys. Take care.